everyone, and welcome back to another episode of A Sit Down with me, Shaughnessy. Today I have my husband Justin on the show. It's becoming his show too. He is always on here. But I have him on here today because he is a day one Nipsey Hussle fan. You know, him playing his music, him forcing me to listen to songs, like listen to this song. I became a fan and a supporter, and just watching Justin be inspired by this man's lifestyle, this man's message and mission, like it inspired me and brought me in as well. And as like the world knows, Nipsey's passing was a shock. It was devastating. It has us all in so many roller coaster of emotions. Your timeline is flooded, and I just did not feel right posting just a regular video without talking about this man's life, because his life is everything that this show is about. Spreading light, you know, sharing, teaching, building, growing, all of those things. So, yeah, that's what today's video is about. Like, what we learned from him, what we felt, and why. Like, so, baby, just let us know, like, why do you think, you know, the world has been so impacted?
Because he was a giver, you know, a giver of hope, a giver of motivation, a giver of dedication. He just was a giver of not even just words. He was actually a giver of tangible things. Like, his music was just the voice that made him, you know, relative to us.
Yeah.
But then outside of the booth was all of these stories came out, right? You see all of these comments and people coming out with stories about, you know, how he helped them and how he poured into them. Like, all of this stuff was just, he was just a dope human being, if that makes sense, right? So him being gone, it just sucked. It sucked for me to be with him since 2009, knowing him, blasting his music. And that's why it hurts. Like, you see it on everybody's timeline. Our mothers are like engulfed in it now, right? So why is that? Because this man really, really was a giver of, you know, tangible and intangible things you can't write down, right? So I just you know want to say, I just want to say that Nipsey was really a cheat code on how to be a human, if that makes sense. Like, he really walked and talked what it meant to actually spread life, like really give life to people. So that's where I'm at with it now. I'm good now because I got the baton and I'm in the marathon with him now, so I'm good now. But that's why it matters so much.
I think, like, my feelings are mutual. I think personally why his life was so inspiring and just like a story that everybody wanted to connect to, because it was, like you said, it was a human being doing exactly what everybody wished they could do. Everybody, you know, everybody plans to be the person that gives back. Everybody plans and hopes to be the person that's walking in their purpose and giving and sharing and caring. But the work behind that and the love behind that and the discipline behind that is so uncommon. And this man was able to do that. Like, I think why we connect with him so much is because, one, when you see someone else's morality, somebody that you really looked up to, somebody that inspired you, when you see that they also have an expiration date, it makes you think about your own. Yeah. It also makes you realize that you have to get out the purpose inside of you, because you don't know when or why, you know, you'll leave. And then it also makes you think about, like, what am I doing? Like, if this man was able to do this much in so little time, what am I doing? I know I thought about that with myself. Like, he wasn't worried about hate. He wasn't worried about what was stopping him. Like, so many stories about how, you know, he started and they took their products, took, you know, the stuff that they were selling on the street. But time after time, like, they continued on in their process. And I feel like a lot of times now people give up during the process because it's too hard. But this is a person that went through the process, was purposeful in every single day, was not the common mode of motivation that you usually see, what looked like us, thought like us, came from the same place as us, was still able to love despite the people around him that was killed, in spite of the death that he's seen like as a kid and growing up, despite of, you know, being poor and being in poverty. He always seen the silver lining in life, and he never let it stop him. He was always fearless and, you know, purposeful, and always in a pursuit of life and purpose and destination. And I feel like that makes us all be like, damn, like I want to be like that. He's really a role model to so many of us, and that's why I think he matters so much.
Yeah.
So I mean, we sat and watched so many documentaries, so many clips. Like, we all just want to understand this man more, and I feel like we have consumed so much. What have you taken away from him? Like, if you could just wrap it up, our future kids, they're going to ask us, what did you take away from his life and his legacy?
Again, I know this is so cliche, but tomorrow is not promised, right? We have so much faith in, or just cockiness about, you plan on waking up tomorrow, right? It is literally like you have no idea that that's true. So tomorrow is not promised. So if that is the case, then you literally have to start finding your passion now. You have to start really beginning to search for, and if you already have it, congratulations. You really have to start searching for your passion, your purpose. What are you here on this earth for? You know, who are you called to really pour into and tap into, right? If you keep that inside of you, these strangers that are waiting on you to, you know, take all of this and really, really remove all of this passion and purpose out of you. If you keep that selfishly inside of you, the strangers that are counting on you, who knows what their life is going to do? Like, for example, because Nip is gone now, this has really affected millions of people on how they move now. Their frequencies are different, totally different now. So because of that, because he didn't keep it inside of him, everybody's trying to move different now. You should, at least. I know I am. Yeah. You are?
For sure.
Right? So getting that outside and really start to walk into your purpose is huge. And then lastly, once you find it, it's a marathon, right? You talked about it just now. Like, people give up because they sprint.
Yeah.
Everybody's sprinting. Nip's whole brand was about the marathon. A marathon is you start slow and you pace yourself. And all that matters is getting to the finish line. And that is what I took from it. It's literally understanding that your time on this earth is not guaranteed. Okay? It's not forever. You don't know when. So that's the scariest part. So since you don't know when, you need to move in a space and in a place where I need to find it. I need to figure it out. Because if I don't, it's a bunch of strangers out there that aren't going to move and aren't going to be moved and know how to go about life because you kept it inside of you. Yeah. And then lastly is, go. Take it and keep going. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Really go and really walk into this thing, not understanding when it's going to happen, but knowing it's going to happen. Just know that if you keep going, it's going to happen. So that's what I took from it. You?
I think I took know who you are, know your value. Like, even when Snoop was at his funeral, he was even saying like how he passed him his mixtape, how he wasn't asking for anything and he wasn't expecting anything. What he was saying is, I'll meet you there. I just want you to know, like, I'm here. Yeah. And I feel like you don't have to try to get, like, he did it so unconventionally. You don't have to be a part of the groups, the in crowds, the platforms that we all think are popping. Like, he created his own lane, and it just shows you how, if you stay true to you, the vision that God has placed inside of you, and really go after and make a plan, like, you can create something that's out of this world. And that's what he did. He created a world within a world that people gave up on. And I feel like even as Black people, we always feel so defeated. We feel like so much has happened to us as a culture, and we almost give up on ourselves, and we tell ourselves what we can and can't do. But this person, Ermias was not limited by anything, and he was fearless in everything that he has done. Like I said, he's seen death constantly, he's seen disappointment constantly, he's seen poverty constantly, but it did not stop him. And yes, at first he pursued chains and stuff, but then he thought about it like, I need to get capital, I need wealth, I need to invest. Yeah. So like, he never stopped growing. He never stopped reading. He never stopped thinking. And like, you have to live your life with purpose and on purpose. And one of the things that like I realized too, I was writing in my journal, is you just can't pray and not take action. You can't take action without a plan. You can't act in fear or without God's direction, because if you do, it's not purpose. So some people might be like, okay, well, you need to just get active, and you like, but I don't have a plan. Or people say you have a plan, but you might have a plan and have fear in you. This man had a plan, he had action, and he was fearless. And he was fearless because of his belief. Like, I don't care what nobody says. He ministered to people. Like, even on his interview, when that girl was like, he was talking about how he was coming from Chicago and there was turbulence on the plane, and the girl was like, did you say a prayer? And he was like, yeah, I said a prayer before I got on the plane. But he was like, when the turbulence was happening, he was like, I ain't need to say a prayer again. God heard me the first time. That right there, like, it's faith. He believed. Like, he believed in God. Like, you don't have to pray a prayer 1,000 times. That right there was like ministering to people. You don't gotta pray about something 1,000 times. I already prayed to him. He heard me. It's turbulence. I'm gonna go through it. And that's the same with his life. He prayed about stuff. It was a little bit of turbulence in his life. He didn't keep harassing God about it. He buckled down, was fearless, and got what was done. And that's what we need to do. Like, we talked about it, with each other. We feel like we have so much purpose inside of us. Create something each and every day. Do something that's true to you every single day. He also said in his interview, like, define who you are and what you're about and what you stand for, and then live by it. That's what I'm most inspired by and going to take away. Defining who I am, what I'm about, and living by it. If you have a mission and a statement for your life, then you can continue to follow that. Like, the marathon was his mission for his life, and he was able to continue when doubts came or whatever came his way. Like, this was the mission. So that's it for me. Like, I feel like we all have been so inspired by him. I thank God for sharing him with us. I thank God for his family to allow us, to experience all these moments and share these hidden gems of this man who was just a genius. And we all have geniuses inside of us. Like, if you have family members, if you have brothers and sisters, like, this man put on for everybody. He found the gifts and the gems in everybody in his life. He never looked anyone over or marked anyone as potentialist. He gave, the guy that was smoking crack outside his job. He gave him outside of his store, gave him money and helped him. And the guy said he's off drugs, and that is what helped him. He never looked over anybody, and that's what God calls us to do, is to see everybody for who they are and who they were created to be. And in doing that, you become like Nipsey. Like, in his life was doing what God said. In my opinion, he did what he was supposed to do. Everybody is not perfect, but he lived a hell of a life, and I'm glad that I got to witness it and experience it. So you go ahead and close it out.
Nip, we love you. Thank you for your life. Thank you for the path that you took and actually showing us the path. We appreciate you. Thank you for everything, and thank you. Our prayers always, and strength, love, all of that go out to your family. Thank you, bro. Thank you for real. And
I just want to say, like, this is just an open discussion. If you guys feel like and want to share, comment. Like, tell us what you learned from Nipsey, like how he made you feel, what this experience has brought to you. Like, like Lauren London said, you can never possess people, but you can experience them. And I'm just thankful for the experience. It makes me want to love my husband more. Makes me want to live my life more. And I'm just thankful for positive examples of limitless living.
You so dope.
Thank you. You want to close?
You just said.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
can't close.
thank you guys for watching another episode of A Sit Down with me, Shauna C, and my husband, and the marathon continues.
The marathon continues.